When people think of Hollywood's golden age, they picture glamour and unforgettable stars. Many of these icons were typecast as dumb or flighty, an image the studios happily sold. But that was just a mask. Behind the scenes, these stars were anything but foolish. They were strategists, inventors, activists, and business masterminds, hiding brilliance behind their on-screen personas. Today, let's pull back the curtain and discover the real intellect and resilience that defined their stardom. The truth is, the smartest people in Hollywood were often the ones everyone underestimated. Judy Holliday's Oscar-winning dumb blonde act in Born Yesterday. It was a performance that captivated audiences and critics alike, solidifying her place in Hollywood history. It fooled almost everyone. They saw the ditzy blonde but missed the sharp mind behind the facade. But off-screen, she was a sharp, witty force, a true intellectual who could hold her own in any conversation. She was a prominent figure in New York's vibrant theater scene, shaping clever, satirical material with The Reviewers, a comedy troupe known for their incisive wit and social commentary. Judy was also a fearless activist, using her platform to advocate for social justice and equality. She was unafraid to stand up for her beliefs, even when those beliefs were unpopular or challenged the status quo. This unwavering commitment to her principles eventually landed her on the infamous Hollywood blacklist, a devastating blow to her career. When called before the Senate, during the height of McCarthyism, she brilliantly used her dizzy persona to outwit the committee, deflecting their questions with carefully crafted responses. She never betrayed her principles, refusing to name names or compromise her integrity. She turned underestimation into her greatest weapon, using it to navigate the treacherous waters of Hollywood and Washington. By playing into expectations, she was protecting herself and her peers from further scrutiny and persecution. Judy's real genius was her ability to see beyond the surface, to use the world's assumptions against it, turning prejudice into power. She wasn't just a funny girl. She was a comedic force to be reckoned with. She was a survivor, a strategist, navigating a complex world with grace and resilience. And above all, a woman of deep conviction, standing firm in her beliefs despite the personal cost. Her legacy is more than her films. It's a testament to her wit, intelligence, and unwavering spirit. It's her courage and intellect in the face of adversity that truly defines her impact. The dumb blonde was just a role, a carefully constructed character. Judy Holliday was always in control, orchestrating her own narrative. She proved that intelligence, often underestimated, can be the best disguise, a shield against those who would seek to diminish you. Her story is a masterclass in subversion, in turning typecasting into triumph and challenging societal expectations. The world saw Billy Dawn, the seemingly naive character she portrayed so convincingly, but history remembers Judy's brilliance, her sharp wit, and her unwavering commitment to her principles. She outsmarted Hollywood and history, leaving behind a legacy of courage, intelligence, and enduring talent. Marilyn Monroe, the ultimate bombshell, right? An icon of beauty and glamour, instantly recognizable around the world. But behind the platinum hair and dazzling smile was Norma Jean, a woman far more complex than her public persona suggested. She was a voracious reader with a personal library of over 400 books, a testament to her intellectual curiosity. Her tastes ranged from the modernist novels of Joyce to the psychological insights of Freud, revealing a depth of understanding that often went unnoticed. She craved respect as an artist, yearning to be taken seriously for her talent and dedication. She dedicated herself to honing her craft, studying method acting at the prestigious Actors Studio in New York. Marilyn was constantly pushing herself far beyond the limitations of the often stereotypical roles she was offered, striving for authenticity and depth in her performances. Marilyn understood the power of her own image better than anyone, carefully crafting and controlling it. She strategically used her image to gain power and influence in a male-dominated industry, navigating the complexities of Hollywood with shrewdness and determination. In a bold move in 1954, she broke free from her restrictive studio contract, taking control of her career. She then founded her own production company, Marilyn Monroe Productions, an unheard of and incredibly daring move for a woman in that era, challenging the established power structures of Hollywood. She fought tirelessly for better scripts, demanding creative control over her projects, and asserting her right to be seen as more than just a pretty stereotype. Marilyn was not just an actress. She was a producer, a strategist, and a savvy businesswoman, actively shaping her own destiny. She was a force to be reckoned with, far more than just a pretty face. Her tragedy isn't solely defined by her untimely and early death. It's also the fact that her sharp intellect, her insightful observations, and her genuine curiosity were so often overlooked and dismissed. So, let's remember the multifaceted woman behind the enduring icon, the poet. Expressing her inner thoughts and emotions through verse, the dedicated student, constantly seeking knowledge and self-improvement, and the fierce fighter who relentlessly pursued her own destiny, refusing to be confined by the expectations of others. Marilyn Monroe was strategically playing chess, carefully planning her moves and anticipating her opponents, while Hollywood, blinded by her beauty, mistakenly thought she was simply playing dress-up. Her enduring legacy is one of complexity, ambition, resilience, and quiet brilliance, a testament to her multifaceted nature. She was, and always will be, so much more than the world ever allowed her to be, a true original who defied expectations and continues to inspire. Gracie Allen's scatterbrained act, a persona she meticulously crafted with George Burns, was legendary, a cornerstone of American comedy. Their partnership was more than just a stage act, it was a carefully constructed comedic dance. But the real genius, the true architect of their success, was Gracie herself, a comedic force disguised as a dizzy dame. She invented the character, breathed life into the seemingly clueless persona, flipped the act, subverting expectations and challenging comedic norms, and became the comedic engine of the duo, the driving force behind their enduring appeal. Her dizzy persona was a masterclass, a clinic in timing and discipline, a testament to her dedication and skill. She never broke character, not for a moment, making the absurd believable, transforming the ridiculous into comedic gold. Playing dumb convincingly, with such effortless charm, takes real intelligence, a sharp wit, and an understanding of human nature. And Gracie's mind was a labyrinth of comedic invention, a playground of witty observations and clever turns of phrase. George Burns knew she was the star, the secret ingredient to their success, the brains and the heart of their act, the comedic soul that resonated with audiences. Gracie's lines were precision-engineered, meticulously crafted, for maximum laughs, designed to elicit roars of laughter from captivated audiences. She was the creative force, the driving energy, the architect of their success, the mastermind behind their enduring legacy. The world saw a lovable fool, a charmingly ditzy character, but Gracie was a master of her craft, a skilled performer who knew exactly what she was doing. She built a comedy empire, a lasting legacy of laughter, by pretending not to have one, by cleverly concealing her brilliance behind a veil of comedic innocence. Her legacy is proof that the smartest person in the room, the one with the keenest intellect, is often the one making everyone else laugh, the one who can find humor in the everyday and share it with the world. Gracie Allen was the secret weapon, the hidden talent behind one of Hollywood's greatest duos, the unsung hero of a comedic partnership that continues to delight audiences today. She always got the last laugh, both on stage and in life, and deservedly so, for her contributions to comedy were immeasurable. Remember her as the genius she truly was, a comedic innovator and a true Hollywood legend. Jayne Mansfield was Hollywood's ultimate spectacle, loud, glamorous, and always in the headlines. But she wasn't just a bombshell. She was a master of publicity, orchestrating her own fame with calculated precision. Jayne reportedly had a genius-level IQ, spoke 5 languages, and was a classically trained musician. She studied drama at top universities and understood the Hollywood game better than anyone. Every outrageous stunt was a strategic move to stay relevant. She was her own publicist, turning her persona into a brand. The dumb blonde image was her creation and her shield. Jayne was a pioneer of celebrity branding decades ahead of her time. Behind the pink in the headlines was a sharp, multilingual strategist. She proved that the smartest person in the room is often the one everyone underestimates. Jayne Mansfield turned her life into performance art and won. Hedi Lamar was billed as the most beautiful woman in the world, But her real legacy is technological genius. Off-screen, she was an inventor, obsessed with solving complex problems. During World War II, she co-invented frequency hopping, a system to prevent enemy jamming of torpedo signals. The Navy dismissed her, unable to see past her looks, and shelved the technology. Decades later, her invention became the foundation for Wi-Fi, Bluetooth, and GPS. Hedy's mind changed the world, even if Hollywood never noticed. She received little recognition in her lifetime, but her impact is everywhere today. Every time you use wireless tech, you're using Hedy's legacy. She was more than a screen siren, she was a visionary. Hedi Lamar's true beauty was her intellect. She proved that genius can hide behind a glamorous mask. Mae West wasn't just a wisecracking dame, she was a powerhouse. She wrote her own scandalous plays, landed in jail for them, and used controversy to build her fame. When Hollywood called, she demanded creative control and wrote her own material. Unheard of at the time. Mae was a shrewd businesswoman, saving Paramount from bankruptcy and becoming one of the highest-paid people in America. She negotiated her contracts, invested wisely, and built an empire on her own terms. Her mastery of innuendo outsmarted censors and delighted audiences. Mae West was more than a performer. She was an author, producer, and mogul. She turned restrictions into opportunities and always stayed one step ahead. Her life was a lesson in self-invention and audacity. Mae West controlled her image, her words, and her destiny. She was always the smartest person in the room. Tony Curtis was the Hollywood heartthrob, but behind the looks was a restless, creative mind. Born Bernard Schwartz, he escaped poverty and reinvented himself through acting and relentless self-education. Tony became a serious painter, drawing inspiration from masters like Matisse and Picasso. His passion for art wasn't just a hobby, he was a respected collector and creator. Curtis approached acting with an artist's eye, bringing depth and color to every role. In later years, painting became his sanctuary and true calling. He built a second act as an artist, proving identity is never fixed. The world saw a movie star, but Tony Curtis was also a self-made intellectual. He found fulfillment far from the Hollywood spotlight. Curtis's story is about reinvention, artistry, and the power of curiosity. He was more than a pretty face. He was a true artist. Zsa Zsa Gabor was the queen of glamour and witty one-liners, famous for her marriages and diamonds. But her ditzy socialite act was a carefully crafted persona. Zsa Zsa was a master of self-invention and a shrewd businesswoman. Her quips were branding genius, turning criticism into power. She built a fortune through business ventures, licensing her name and staying in the spotlight. Zsa Zsa navigated Hollywood and high society with resilience and wit. She turned scandals into opportunities, always controlling her narrative. Her legacy is one of reinvention and savvy entrepreneurship. Zsa Zsa proved you can be glamorous and brilliant. She was the CEO of her own legend. Never underestimate the mind behind the diamonds. Lou Costello played the bumbling fool in Abbott and Costello, but off-stage, he was the brains of the operation. Lou negotiated groundbreaking deals, securing profit shares and creative control, rare for actors of his era. He saw the potential of television early, insisting on owning the rights to their show, creating a revenue model that others would follow. Costello was a tough, strategic businessman, always fighting for better contracts and smarter marketing. He was also known for his generosity, but in business, he was uncompromising. Lou turned comedy into an empire, proving the simpleton was actually a mogul. The world saw a clown, but he was a pioneer in entertainment business. Lou Costello's real act was outsmarting Hollywood at its own game. He built a legacy of innovation and control. The lovable loser was, in reality, a winner behind the scenes. Lou Costello redefined what it meant to be a star. Esther Williams was Hollywood's million-dollar mermaid, but her real strength was business acumen. She turned her swimming stardom into a brand, consulting on film set designs and leveraging her fame for endorsements. Esther planned for life after Hollywood, investing in pools and launching a successful swimwear line. She was hands-on in design and marketing, understanding her customers because she was one of them. Williams built a thriving business empire long after her film career faded. She was more than a smiling swimmer. She was a forward-thinking entrepreneur. Esther's story is about foresight, reinvention, and smart branding. She proved that Hollywood fame is fleeting, but business savvy lasts. Williams controlled her destiny, both in and out of the pool. Her legacy is one of intelligence, resilience, and innovation. Esther Williams was a true original, on screen and in business. Next time you watch a classic film, look beyond the persona. The real stories of these stars are about intellect, resilience, and courage off camera. They were inventors, moguls, and artists. Genius hidden behind glamour or comedy. Their lives remind us that brilliance often wears a mask. Which legend surprised you most? Let us know in the comments. If you enjoyed these hidden histories, subscribe for more classic Hollywood stories. There's always more to discover behind the silver screen. The smartest stars were the ones you never saw coming.